Okay, picture this. We're not on some ancient battlefield. We're actually in a monastery in Kosambi, ancient India. But the feeling, it's intense conflict. You have monks, supposedly peaceful monks, who are, well, the text says they were stabbing each other with words.
It's a really vivid image, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sets the stage immediately.
Absolutely. And that's where we're starting our deep dive today. We're digging into this ancient text, the Upakkilesasuttaṃ. It's packed with insights, really, about conflict, about unity, and maybe most importantly, about those inner hurdles, those things that get in the way of our own clarity and peace.
Exactly. And our goal here is to pull out the practical wisdom. What can these stories, these teachings from thousands of years ago, actually tell us about navigating our lives today?
Because they feel surprisingly relevant. So, back to Kosambi. The monks are just constantly at each other's throats, arguing, fighting, and get this, the Buddha himself tries to step in, give some advice, and one monk basically tells him to, well, chill out.
Yeah. Essentially, mind your own business, we've got this. Telling the Buddha to go enjoy his enlightenment while they sort out their mess.
The sheer audacity, it's quite something.
It really is. And what's fascinating, truly fascinating, is the Buddha's reaction. He doesn't double down, doesn't force them. That's a lesson right there.
What does he do?
He offers the wisdom, they reject it, and then he demonstrates withdrawal, the power in stepping back. But he also points to other ways forward.
Right, like finding wise friends or going it alone if you have to.
Precisely. Unity with the wise, or this kind of dignified solitude. It makes you ask, doesn't it? When do you lean in, and when is it actually wiser to detach?
That's a huge question, and his actions speak volumes. He doesn't argue back, he just leaves Kosambi.
He does, but not before leaving them with something powerful.
Yeah, he stands there and recites these verses, real truth bombs, like, hatred never ceases by hatred. By not hatred it ceases. This is the eternal law.
Powerful stuff. And timeless.
And he laments, right? He talks about people who don't get that we're all gonna perish, basically, versus those who do understand, and because of that, they manage to settle their fights.
Puts it all in perspective.
Then he makes this really stark comparison. He says even bandits, people doing terrible things, robbing, killing, plundering, even they can find ways to agree.
So why can't these monks? It's a piercing question.
It really is. And his final advice is so direct. Find a good companion, someone wise and steady, and walk with them. Be happy.
But if you can't?
Then walk alone. Like a king leaving a conquered land behind, or like a rhinoceros in the wild. He literally says, one solitary walk is better. There is no companionship with fools.
Wow. So the takeaway from Kosambi is, sometimes walking away is the wisest move. Don't force it. Seek good company, or find strength in solitude.
It's a strong message about choosing your associations wisely.
Okay, so after leaving that whole mess behind, where's he headed? Well, he journeys on. First, he checks in on Venerable Bhagu, just sees how he's doing. Nice little detail. Then he arrives at this place, Upakkilesasuttaṃ. It's a bamboo grove. Sounds peaceful.
It does, but there's a little friction at first, isn't there? The attendant tries to stop him.
Yeah, the attendant is protective of the monks already there. Says something like, don't disturb them, they're deep in practice.
But the monks inside, Venerables, Anuruddha, Nandiya, and Kimbila, what do they do?
Oh, it's a complete contrast to Kosambi. They see the Buddha coming and immediately rush out to welcome him.
How so?
One takes his bowl and robe, another gets a seat ready, a third brings water for his feet. It's this beautiful, spontaneous act of collective service and respect.
An instantly different vibe. You can feel it.
Totally. And the Buddha picks up on it straight away. He asks them, point blank, are you guys living in unity, in concord, without fighting?
Like milk and water mixed, he says.
Exactly. Looking at each other with affection. And their answer, well, Anuruddha explains it, and it's profound.
What does he say? How did they achieve it?
He says, first off, they each feel genuinely lucky, fortunate to be living with these companions. There's appreciation.
That's a good start.
Then they practice loving kindness, metta, not just thinking nice thoughts, but in their actions, their speech, and their thoughts, openly and in secret.
Both publicly and privately. That's thorough.
And here's the really crucial bit, I think. Each one consciously puts aside their own mind, their own preferences and desires, and tunes into, adapts to, the minds of the others.
Whoa. Okay, unpack that a little.
Anuruddha puts it beautifully. Our bodies are separate, but our minds, I think, are one. It's like they're actively prioritizing the collective consciousness over individual whim.
That's deep empathy in action, not just feeling for others, but actively aligning your mind.
Precisely. And it wasn't just a nice idea they talked about. It showed up in the nitty-gritty of daily life.
Like their routine. You mentioned practical harmony.
Yeah, they had a system. Whoever got back first from collecting alms would set up the seats, get the drinking water ready, put out the waste pot. Simple stuff.
And the last one back.
They'd deal with any leftovers. Either eat them or dispose of them carefully, not harming any living creatures, putting waste where it wouldn't cause problems. Then they'd tidy everything up. Put away the seats, the water pots, clean the dining area.
Okay, that sounds organized, but what's the really striking part?
It's the water pots detail. If anyone saw an empty pot drinking water, washing water, even water for the toilet, they'd refill it.
Okay.
But if the pot was too heavy to lift alone, they wouldn't shout for help. They wouldn't break the communal silence or risk starting an argument over who should do it.
So what would they do?
They'd make a simple hand signal, silently asking for assistance. Someone else would see the signal and come help, lift it together. No words needed.
Wow. That little detail speaks volumes, doesn't it? About mindfulness, about cooperation, about prioritizing peace over everything else, even convenience.
It's incredible. It shows how deep the harmony went. It wasn't just agreeing. It was living in this state of mutual support and awareness, even in the tiniest tasks. The Kosambi monks show the chaos of ego. These guys show the power of collective mindfulness.
A world of difference. Okay, so the Buddha is there with these incredibly harmonious monks. Does the conversation shift then?
It does. He asks them, give them this amazing harmony in practice. Have they reached any higher states? Any breakthroughs?
And have they?
Well, they admit something interesting. They say they do experience things, a kind of light and a vision of forms, when they meditate deeply.
Okay, sounds promising.
But these experiences don't last. They vanish quickly. And the monks confess they haven't really figured out what it all means. They can't penetrate the meaning behind the light and forms.
Like getting glimpses of something profound but not being able to hold on to it or understand it fully.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really relatable and, frankly, quite encouraging.
How so?
The Buddha says basically, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Before I was fully enlightened, I experienced the very same thing.
Wait, really? The Buddha himself went through that, seeing lights and forms that disappeared.
Yes. That's huge, isn't it? It shows that even the person who reached the ultimate goal faced these exact same kinds of meditative obstacles. He wasn't just born enlightened. He navigated these challenges.
That makes it feel much more accessible somehow, like it's part of the path, not a sign you're failing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then he explains why it happens. He says the cause is what are called defilements of the mind. In Pali,
Upakkilesasuttaṃ. Mental defilements like impurities
or
glitches.
Yeah, impurities, stains, imperfections, things that cloud the mind's natural clarity. These defilements were making his samadhi, his deep concentration, unsteady. That's why the light and visions would flicker and fade.
Okay, so what are these defilements? He identified specific one.
He did. He identified 11 of them.
Yeah.
And understanding these can be, incredibly helpful for anyone trying to cultivate focus or inner peace.
11. Okay, let's dig into them. What's the first one?
The first is doubt, vicikicca. That feeling of uncertainty, hesitation. Am I doing this right? Is this path correct? That kind of thing. It totally undermines concentration.
Makes sense. Hard to focus if you're doubting everything. What's next?
Inattention or non-attention, amanasakaro. Simply not paying proper attention to the meditation object or whatever you're trying to focus on. Your mind is just wandering off without directed focus.
Like zoning out?
Sort of, yeah. Then there's sloth and torpor, the amita. This is that heavy, drowsy, dull feeling. Mental sluggishness makes the mind kind of sink.
Ugh, yeah, know that feeling. Okay, 3 down.
Number 4 is terror or fright, chambitana, a real sense of fear or dread arising. The Buddha gives an analogy for this one.
Oh, yeah.
He says it's like a traveler on a dangerous road who suddenly sees assassins hiding on both sides. That level of fear makes stillness impossible.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, what about positive feelings? Can they be defilements?
Surprisingly, yes. Number 5 is elation or exultation, ubla. Getting overly excited or joyful. Too much woohoo can throw you off balance just as much as fear.
How so?
The analogy here is someone searching for, say, one hidden treasure, and they suddenly stumble upon 5 treasures all at once. They'd be so overwhelmed with excitement they'd lose all focus.
Interesting. So even intense joy can be a distraction. Okay, number 6.
Wickedness or grossness. This refers to coarse, unwholesome thoughts or intentions bubbling up. Things that are fundamentally misaligned with the path.
Right, that seems more obviously like a defilement. What's next?
The next 2 are a pair, relating to effort. Number 7 is overexertion, akharadhaviri. trying too hard, straining.
Too much effort can be bad.
Yep. The Buddha compares it to gripping a quail too tightly in your hand. You'll crush it, kill it. You destroy the very thing you're trying to hold.
Okay, so what's the opposite?
Number 8, lacks energy, atila. Not trying hard enough, being too slack, too loose with your effort.
And the analogy?
Gripping the quail too loosely, it just flies away. So finding that balanced effort is key. Not too tight, not too loose.
The middle way, even in effort. Got it. 3 more.
Number 9 is longing or craving, abhijapa, that restless wanting mind. Desire pulling you towards things you don't have. Constant dissatisfaction.
Okay. 10.
Diversity of perception, nanatasanya. This is getting distracted by all the different thoughts, sounds, sensations that arise. Your mind just flits from one thing to another, caught up in the variety.
Like mental channel surfing.
Good way to put it. And finally, number 11, over-contemplation of forms. This is specific to the light and forms they were seeing. It means getting too fascinated or fixated on the visions themselves.
Ah, so focusing on the cool light show instead of the deeper meaning or the concentration itself.
Exactly. Getting attached to the phenomena rather than seeing them as signs or results of the practice. Missing the forest for the trees, you could say.
11 defilements. That's quite a diagnostic checklist for the mind.
It really is. Yeah. And the crucial thing the Buddha emphasizes is what he did about them.
Yeah.
He didn't just notice them.
What did he do?
He consciously identified each one. This is doubt arising. This is overexertion.
Mm-hmm.
He recognized it as a defilement, as a problem for his mind. And then he abandoned it, actively let it go. It was a very deliberate process. Recognize the defilement, understand its negative impact, and release it. Yeah. Not passive acceptance, but active abandonment.
That active step sounds key. Okay, so he clears away these 11 roadblocks. What happens then? What are the results of mastering this?
Well, the first result was gaining incredible control over his perception during meditation. He could intentionally choose what to perceive.
Right, how?
He could decide to perceive only light without any forms appearing or only forms without any light. And he could sustain this chosen perception for as long as he wanted. A whole night, a whole day, even a whole day and night.
Wow. So he wasn't just passively receiving these lights and forms anymore. He was directing the experience.
Yeah, precisely. He realized it all depended on the nimitta, the mental sign or object he chose to focus on. He was essentially mastering the controls of his own mind's eye.
Incredible. What else?
He discovered something else profound. The scale of the experience directly mirrored the scale of his concentration, his samadhi.
Meaning?
If he established a small, limited level of concentration, the light and forms he perceived were also small and limited. But if he cultivated an immense, boundless concentration,
then the light and forms became immense and boundless too.
Exactly. It showed this direct, causal link between the depth and power of his inner mental state and the richness and scope of his perception. Our inner focus literally shapes the reality we perceive, at least on this subtle level.
Mind-blowing, really. So this mastery over the defilements and concentration, where did it ultimately lead him?
It led to the final breakthrough. Once all 11 defilements were gone, completely abandoned, he resolved to cultivate samadhi in 3 specific ways, playing with the factors of concentration, like initial thought, sustained thought, rapture, pleasure.
Refining the instrument even further.
Yes, and this refined, undefiled, immensely powerful concentration led directly to the ultimate wisdom and vision, the knowledge of liberation. That's when he could declare with certainty,
"Unshakable is my liberation. This is my last birth. There is now no further becoming."
That's the one. The culmination of that whole journey, from struggling with flickering lights to unshakable freedom.
What a journey. So just to kind of wrap this up, we started with that intense conflict in Kosambi.
A picture of disunity, ego, and rejecting wisdom.
Then we saw the complete opposite, that beautiful practical harmony of the monks in the bamboo grove.
Living unity, based on empathy and mindful action.
And then we went inside the Buddha's own experience, tracing his path through those 11 mental defilements, the Upakkilesasuttaṃ, to ultimate clarity.
Showing the inner work required for both personal liberation and potentially for creating that kind of outer harmony.
And these aren't just, dusty old stories. You can feel the relevance, can't you?
Absolutely. These principles, these insights into conflict, unity, and our own mental static, they're incredibly relevant for us right now. Think about it navigating office politics, trying to build better family relationships, or even just finding a bit more focus and peace in your own head amidst all the noise.
Understanding these dynamics, these defilements, can give you real tools.
Definitely. It gives you a framework, for looking at what might be going wrong, either in your interactions or inside your own mind.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Consider your own life, your work, your relationships. What defilements might be subtly operating? Is it doubt holding you back? Or maybe overexertion, trying too hard, even getting carried away by excitement?
Or maybe it's that diversity of perception, just being constantly distracted.
Right. Could recognizing just one of these subtle patterns be the first step? The first step towards maybe a clearer mind, a more unified sense of self, and perhaps a more peaceful way of being with others.
Something to definitely ponder. How might clearing away even one of those inner clouds change the weather, both inside and out?